On Saturday, Iran's president said that the United States should not give any trouble to the oil tankers that are headed into Venezuela. They're there to help the latter country address a major fuel shortage. He said if our oil tankers in the Caribbean Sea or anywhere else in the world get into trouble caused by the Americans, they, the U.S., will run into trouble reciprocally. Now, he said that in a telephone conversation with Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Rouhani, the president of Iran, also said that they would never start tensions or clashes, but that they would retaliate if they were provoked. Last month, the United States officials said they were monitoring the 5 oil tankers crossing the Atlantic with 60 million gallons of Iranian gasoline headed toward the Venezuelan waters. The shipment is intended to address a fuel shortage in the formerly oil-rich Venezuela. Now, it's so sad because they actually have produce that is said to be rotting on the farms for lack of shipping, and all of their sick people, they can't even get most of them to the hospital now there in Venezuela. It's also evidence of a deepening alliance between the two countries, Iran and Venezuela. Meanwhile, Elliot Abrams, the U.S. Special Representative to Venezuela, said to the Washington Post, "You have 2 pariah states that are finding they are able to exchange things they need for things they have." Earlier this spring, the Trump administration offered to lift those sanctions from Venezuela if the country agreed to create an interim transitional government and hold a free and fair presidential election in less than a year, which you and I already know. All that means is put in who we want, and we're going to have all your entire country at our disposal. Anyway, the Venezuelan government is now led by Nicolas Maduro, and he rejected the offer of the United States. Now, the U.S. has also gone so far as to invoke the Monroe Doctrine, which rejects outside intervention in the Western Hemisphere, and it moves against foreign entities that do business with Venezuela. In the call that President Rouhani had on Saturday, he also went on to say that they all needed to cooperate collectively and said the United States was proceeding with incorrect decisions and inhumane behavior. He also stressed the need to restart economic relations between Iran, Qatar, and the Emir of Qatar said that they would do their utmost to reduce those tensions. It's so sad to see how we are. If you guys remember back several years ago, the United States, excuse me, and I think that it was more specifically when Hillary Clinton was our Secretary of State. We put a lot of sanctions on them, and it prevented all of the stuff from going out of there. And the way that the place is designed or created, it really made it hard for them to do whatever they had to do. No ships were allowed in or out or something like that. But I do know that the United States has a lot to do with the destabilization of many countries, but specifically this conversation with Venezuela. I pray for those people all the time because if you guys remember about 4 years ago, Venezuela was reported to be eating things that you should not eat. Okay, they were eating donkeys. They were eating the flamingo, the beautiful flamingo that they were well known for. They were eating those. They were eating cats and dogs. And then all of a sudden, all the information that we were finding out from Venezuela stopped. So because we don't hear anything, we automatically think that things are over, but it isn't over. This country is really doing bad. And I believe that it's doing bad because of our annoying interference. So with that said, continue to pray for the whole world, you guys, because it appears that we all need it. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is Felicia Lockhart, and this has been the Lockhart Perspective.